What's up guys, welcome back from the Yugioh Pro Duel video. Mutants, new archetype coming out in a TCG really soon. They're up on YgoPro, so let's try them out. This is the current first wave of support, and I believe there are more cards coming in the first wave. I'm not really sure about this, feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, but for the first wave these seem okay. Pretty balanced, nothing too overpowered. They remind me of something like Cosmo, if that makes sense. Like the archetype is heavily focused, so super focused on their low level monsters, both level like the low level ones. One is like the Stratos, both level 2s that is. M05 is their Stratos, while ST46 is their Spell and Trap Searcher. So that's perfect. I mean, that's already a great start. But their weakness is kind of similar to Cosmo, since again, you're basically forced to play their bigger counterparts, which are taggable. You can special summon them from the deck, right, when you like banish a card from, for example, your hands. And that's why I'm combining the current archetype with the current first wave of support with, other archetypes, and I'm looking at Thunders, because obviously they'll get their effect when they are banished, while at the same time maintaining resources. Again, that's super crucial. And a small Nephthys package as well, with at least Metaphys. Yeah, Metaphys indeed. It has been quite a while since, again, and that's currently also one of the biggest weaknesses of the archetype. But the biggest reason is that it's still their first wave, so we can definitely expect more support. But imagine, like, let's say their bigger monsters, their level 8 ones, having the extra beneficial effects that when they are like banished, you can get a beneficial search. So basically make them something like Dragon Rulers, because now there aren't really like good effects or good options to banish in themed, that is. Other than, and I'm looking at their bigger fusion, which currently I feel is just a one-off in like the extra deck. I mean, it will become much better if the archetype gets more support. It's pretty much an Omni-Negate when you like banish, or basically a Megaba, like banish from your graveyard instead of discarding, for example, like banish a card. And it's also similar to Block Dragon, if that makes sense, your bigger fusion, the one of in the extra deck, because when it's like destroyed, you can get back banished cards, mutant cards, one of each, like one monster, one monster, one spell, one trap, from your banished pile back to the hand. So very similar to Block Dragon for the, like Adamantipator, for example. But, and that's where, with the current archetype, it feels a bit slow of accomplishing that, of banishing a trap, banishing their in-themed spell. There are options, but again, it's still their first wave of support, and for now it feels a bit slow. One of the spells I'm not running is the Equip spell, which has the effect that it can banish itself. So okay, you could, like banish itself and potentially get a deck with the fusion, but that's currently a bit too much. That's it's just too much work. There are better options for now. The other level fusion, the other level 9, is very flexible, very easy to get on the field. It needs 2 mutant monsters, but with different attribute, and their lower level monsters are both Aqua. Well, I'm not counting in their level 4. Not running the level 4, by the way, because for now I don't feel you need it. Maybe a one-off. But again, I might be wrong. This is the first day of testing, actually, so who knows. But the card gives you the opportunity to play during your opponent's turn at plus, and that's somewhat important. It can tribute itself and not special summon from the deck, but from like the grave, and I believe the banished pile as well. And that's something good, because as you see, or as you saw in the profile, I'm running only 2 of, or at least 4 level 8s in total of the mutants. 2 of the fire one and 2 of the earth one, because I think those are currently the better ones. But again, with more support, you might want to fit in more, and pretty much the same weakness as Cosmo has is breaking, the like lower ships or lower mutants, well then again, okay, you're kind of not forced of having the big level 8s in your hand, so that's, I guess, the advantage these have over Cosmo. But again, you're like main-necking multiple high-level monsters, and that's again, or can be somewhat of a weakness of the deck. Even though their field spell is kinda okay, it has the ability that, if basically like Cosmo Town, reveal like a mutant from your hand, send it back to the bottom of the deck to draw one. So again, that recycles your level 8, which is crucial. and at the same time it only works once. When it's like activated, you can special summon a mutant either from your hand or from your banished pile, and that's a low level one. And that's cool because that gives you some interaction with your banished pile and again maintaining resources. The archetype, and that's actually also a good start, also has like a Shadow Fusion alike card. It just acts like a regular polymerization unless your opponent activated a card effect during your turn. So let's say like a hand trap or impermanence or any other effect. Let's say when you're going second, you can use up to one monster from the deck for the fusion summon and banish one from the graveyard, and all of them will be banished. So that's cool. That again immediately makes your field spell live, for example, but it's basically a free fusion, and currently I feel it's just a 2-off, but again with like more support, more monsters from the archetype, and going second, the card is bonkers. So that's well, again, I'm combining it with other archetypes for now, and it might be a bit too cloggy because I'm running the Thunder Dragon fusion as a one-off as well. So yeah, as I mentioned before, I'm it's like basically a hybrid between other archetypes, somewhat solving, I guess, the problem that the archetype currently has, is that there aren't really any good ways, in themed ways, to kinda maintain resources even though you're kinda banishing cards from your hand to use their tribute or on-field effect. So that's a bit of a bummer, but again, who knows, the new support cards might help out. Emergency Teleport is currently at 1 in the TCG, and I believe it's at 2 in the OCG, but I'm not sure about that, but who knows. I mean, it's super obvious that this deck, this archetype, craves to 3 emergency teleports. It needs triple teleport, like no joke. I mean, imagine playing Cosmo with like only 1 teleport. It's just a follow-up play. If your opponent has the ability to interrupt one of your smaller mutants, you would teleport for the other one and go from there. So it's just far too crucial. But again, who knows? The new cards in Phantom Rage might also be a spell. Who knows? Like a Hero Lives. That actually might be super solid. That's something that they definitely lack for now. As for the rest, Trade-in is currently in the deck. I'm not a huge fan of Trade-in. I believe it's a terrible card, but it's needed because, again, you're fueling your graveyard with those mutant cards, because all of them are level 8, at least the high level ones. Metaphyst Neptis is also level 8, but again, you can search it from your banished extension. I believe the name is Accession. They're trap cards, so it immediately is like a trade-in target, even though you could banish it from your smaller mutants, so that's quite flexible, but outside of that, I mean, who knows, with like more support, Trade-in might just be, probably just going to drop it from the main deck, but again, depends on their upcoming support. They also have a Polymerization trap card, which I feel is currently a 2-off. It might be, like going pure, it's definitely a 3-off, but it gives the deck the ability to interrupt your opponent by fusion summoning, and, that's important, you can use your resources, your monsters from your banished pile or from your graveyard, and send them back to the deck. So it's kind of like a Pot of Avarice and the fusion summon, the polymerization in the same, in the same cards. Plus it can, like, again, special summon the flexible fusion, the 2-off, I mean the 3-off, but the fusion that needs like 2 different attributes, mutants, and then banish or, like destroy a card from your opponent. So that's cool. That's really, really good. And again, as I mentioned before, and that's something I haven't mentioned yet, is that the smaller mutants have like that cute effect that you could use their Lone Fire Blossom effect, I'll call it that way, and then, special summon their bigger counterpart from the deck. But let's say if you banish a monster from the hand to use that effect, you can special summon the Beast. That's the level 8, it's level 8, lower attack, but it's the Earth one, and that's the monster that like negates spells. So that's cool. That's definitely a good one, going like first, and having that one is definitely solid. The other one that I'm playing is the level 8 Fire one, a 2-off, because it can be special summoned when you're banishing a trap from your hand with one of the smaller mutants. And that is okay. As soon as your opponent activates like a monster effect, you can banish a monster from your opponent. And that's okay, but sadly it won't negate the monster effect. That's a bit sad. I'm not running the third one, that's the Spellcaster one, so something like Magician's Souls might be something for this deck, maybe the pure version, but I mean, you need to banish like a spell, Probably, I mean, if the archetype is getting like more support, going more pure, that might be a staple as well. But for now, with this current hybrid, I don't feel it's needed. Again, I wanted to keep the deck at 40 sharp because you're just craving, always craving towards those smaller mutant monsters. You know, both your level 3s. So anyway, okay, Red Eyes Fusion, that's a problem. Red Eyes Dragoon is very hard for this deck to get over. There is an option, the field spell, that gives your mutant monsters an extra beneficial attack boost of 100 attack points. That's not too much. I mean, whatever, right? But I mean, if Konami really wants to make an archetype, a good archetype, just give them like a little more attack boost, but that's whatever. I have an out. And that's the trap one, so again, like a smaller mutant, and I have the option to special summon the trap one from the deck that has like, I believe, like a base of 3k attack. Yeah, indeed, Arsenal, and of course with the field spell it gives the beneficial boost to potentially attack over Dragoon, but nope, that wasn't the case, and now I'm stuck with like those, you know, that sub-engine in my hand, and no smaller mutants to banish them for. So that's still the problem, I guess, I have with the archetype. It's very similar to Cosmo currently, but obviously you need... the archetype needs more support, but I'm happy with the first wave. I think we can expect more support in Phantom Rage, and they definitely need more support. They definitely need triple teleport, but yeah, like always, feel free to leave suggestions. Okay, guys, that's it. Thanks for watching. Feel free to leave a comment or like if you enjoyed the video. Lithium signing out. Peace.